Goal! Yes, 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 yes! That was a goal! Striker! Eat that! And another! Bing bang, stick it in! Thank you and good night!
Twat! That was liquid football!
Shit! Did you see that? He must have a foot like a traction engine.
So, that's our official transfer rundown. So, in that case, it's time for the Hand of Cod.
This fella Ronaldo is a cod. I don't care if he scores.
I thought he was fucking dreading it.
Lord Liver, he's the guy who ran away and left his wife for a young one.
I'll go first.
Yes, please do.
Robbie Keane did an interview.
Oh
he's
my
not
God.
the cod. It was the Daily Telegraph?
It was the Daily
Daily
Mail.
Mail.
Daily Mail,
Daily
of
Mail,
course, yeah.
That
even worse.
bastion of reporting.
And it literally was just like the most awkward read I've ever read.
It was so bad.
Like, you could tell he was so pissed off and had no interest in answering the stupid questions that were being asked. And then the reporter was kind of acting like, well, surprisingly, he didn't want to answer my questions of the three things he'd asked me not to ask him about. And it was like, oh, it was just, it was horrific.
It was so bad. It was one of the worst articles I've ever seen written by an actual journalist. The journalist, by the way, let's call him out. Craig Hope, by the way. If you have a degree in journalism, burn it and try again. Because that is appalling in terms of actually writing an article. Because even though the formatting is wrong, he's telling it as if it's like a fucking fanfic. Like, I've seen this shit on Tumblr.
It's one of those interviews that was so bad. I kind of, if they'd recorded it, like if they videoed it, I'd want to watch that.
Yeah.
There's no way that could have been.
Like, it would have gone viral because people would have thought,
so
yeah.
fucking awkward in real life. I mean, that would have been just terrible.
Like, the sheer fact that it came out, right, and like I said, the guy's first question was, hey, you remember that time you went out on the lash outside of, I read that, I was like, I don't want to talk about that. Like you know, like, took some time out of his, like, pre-season to talk to this fucking hack, and this is the shit you came out with.
Like,
Unreal.
a story that has been, like, told to death of the Spurs team going to Dublin for Christmas and them getting a bollocking from Harry Redknapp for not inviting him, presumably, and like it's just been done to death. It has nothing got to do with his current, like, he is the, like, assistant coach for Middlesbrough.
Yeah, he's Woodgate's number 2.
Yeah, and he's like double jobbing as the assistant coach for Ireland. Like, he's got so many things going for him that you could start off like, how is it working 2 jobs at once? You know, like.
But that was like his 6th or 7th question. Like, his icebreaker.
He starts off with like, what would you do if your squad did what you did? And he's like, what the fuck? Like, what? Like.
Wasn't his first question like, oh, give us a song? You know, I heard you're a really good singer. It's like, I thought we were here for an interview. I know, but you know, like how, like, you do.
You're a fun Irish leprechaun character.
Come on,
of a man.
dance, wee boy, dance, come on.
Oh, it is painful.
It was so cringeworthy.
Like,
go out and find it, because it's one of the worst articles. Like, the fucking Sport Bible has got nothing on this.
Then your man, like, was it Craig? Tries to make Robbie out to be the bad guy for not wanting to answer these questions.
He basically tried to say, like, oh, well, he wasn't in the mood for my questions. Like, yeah, they weren't fucking questions.
You're a cunt.
Yes. Nobody touches our Robbie Keane, right? We are very defensive about him. Yeah.
Maybe the boy.
Yeah. Yeah, we get to say about his boy
with gloves. Yeah, we get to flag him off. You can't.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go next then with my COD of the week, and it is the EFL. Well, broadly speaking, it's the EFL and the FA, and their massive passive aggression. this has been a long time coming because the EFL is its own entity, and they took over the Football League from the FA, basically. So the FA have basically washed their hands, going, "Oh, it's not our shout anymore. The Football League is the EFL. Work with it yourselves. We're dealing with the conference and the FA Cup. That's our remit." Now the problem is that the EFL have this ongoing issue with multiple clubs about owners, and pretty much anywhere you go with all these kind of clubs, I could name 5 or 6 off the top of my head, like Bolton, Bury, Notts County, Charlton, Blackpool, most recently, who have really shit owners. And the problem is the test that they have for the owners is the fit and like responsible owners test. And whatever the test is, I think is, do you have money? Tick yes. Are you dodgy? Tick yes. And you're an owner of a football club. It came to light because I read an article from the Daily Telegraph by Jim White, not that Jim White, no Jim White.
Aww.
Yeah, and he did a great expose about with a fella called Andrew Taylor, who he was the captain of Bolton last season when they were getting relegated. And basically Taylor opened up about how the players are being affected by clubs' financial struggles. The current owner, Ken Anderson, has been trying to sell the club for the last year, basically, or he says he's been trying to sell the club. The one person that's on the table is a guy called Lawrence Bassini, who was the former Watford owner, who nearly drove them into the ground before the pizza family came in and said, "Here, we'll buy this for £1, take it or leave it." And Bassini was actually banned for years by the EFL for not being a responsible owner, basically having dodgy accounts. And he is literally the only person potentially on the table to save Bolton Wanderers from insolvency, from the stadium getting just basically taken down, from players just not getting their wages. There have been some of the players in the Bolton team last season have been evicted from their flats, from their homes, because they haven't been paid. And the EFL, and the reason I'm annoyed at that is a two-pronged thing. The first thing is you allow this situation to get so bad that you don't have any kind of system of administration. They allow just administrators to walk in and go, "Don't know, mate, I'm just here to take the assets. I don't consider you the players' assets. We'll talk to you later on." Mm-hmm. So the EFL have
basically advocating asset stripping.
They're advocating asset stripping on institutions. Yeah. You know, I have fond memories of 2000s football. I remember Bolton Wanderers and Charlton and Blackburn and to a lesser extent Blackpool. These are old school British fucking belt and buckles football clubs. And not even that, but they're like Newcastle and Sunderland in a way. Is that those cities don't have much else on. You know, Bolton are a big footballing club. Blackpool are a big footballing club. Or Town even. It's not as if they can just go around, "Oh, well, fuck it, we'll just go watch cricket instead." They don't have that. The club is their thing. It's a community thing. And the fact is, you do have owners like Ken Anderson who are just "I might sell, don't know, mate, I might just stay on and just keep fucking liquidating everything."
Yeah.
And the players, the actual individuals who are trying to do their best and stay on. At one point, when they were registering players this season for the EFL, Bolton had 1 player on full contract. They have 7 trialists at the moment, and they were playing their first match day this past weekend, and most of them were under 23s, semi-professional. That's a League One team that can't spend their players, and the same thing has happened to Bury, who are in League Two, have been insolvent for years, and the EFL just went, "What do you want us to do? You don't have owners, you don't have a horse in this race. You expect us, the governing body of the league, to stand in? No, mate, you're gonna have to get yourself an owner." You know, and the EFL are not they're not surf for cash or anything like that. They're a successful organisation. They can stand in and just hold up the clubs until they get new owners. You know, Notts County, for example, they're happy. The EFL are delighted with Notts County because they've been relegated to the conference, so they're not in their remit anymore. Notts County didn't have kits for the start of the season, so they asked Juventus for kits, cashing in a 116-year-old favour because they couldn't afford shirts. Mm-hmm. And that's been going on for years as well. So you can add in Charlton with the dodgiest fuckers alive, the Duchalets. Mm-hmm. The Eisen family are finally gone from Blackpool, which means they're actually getting crowds now back at Bloomfield Road. Yeah. You know, and this is all because the EFL are just looking at this going just basically holding their hands up and shrugging, just going this is not our shout.
Hand holding emoji, just
yeah.
They allowed the likes of the Venky's in. They allowed the likes of Tony Fernandez into QPR, and he ruined the club as well. There's so many clubs that are ruined by just dodgy owners, and the EFL just go, "I don't care. It's not our shout." You know, it's actually sad. It's sad to see it,
Yeah.
especially when you see like
those big clubs like Bolton. Like.
yeah.
Say such good players like.
Well, JJ Okocha, like, you know, that is the player from Bolton, like, you know, or fucking who's the other guy, curly-haired fella, what was his name? Spanish player, Ivan Campo. He was fucking brilliant too. But that was a time where like it was fun to watch a team like Bolton because you just had mad hatters in the team.
Yeah.
You know, like Sam Allardyce. That was like peak Allardyce as well,
Yeah.
because he had Sammy Lee on his fucking like headset as well.
Yeah, the
like
Allardyce.
that's the nostalgia that Bolton gives you.
The Allardycean football.
Yes, but all you see now at Bolton is an empty stadium, no fans, and can't even fucking. Oh, actually, Coventry City. I'll throw in there as well. I forgot them. They can't. They don't own their stadium anymore.
Yeah.
That got repossessed. So now they're playing at St Andrews in Birmingham, and now have to rejig all their league fixture to alternate with Birmingham City.
Oh, that is actually a load of balls.
So that's what I mean. What 7 clubs I mentioned there
Yeah.
out of 92 that the EFL have control over, and they're not doing anything about it. Nothing at all.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's pretty grim.
behavior.
Yeah.
My
Neil,
one
your
will
call.
be a bit of a quick one because I'm fried. But it's US soccer.
Ooh.
Putting up very, very misleading figures. They claim
Fucking yeah.
Oh,
they
yes,
claim
the gender
basically-
pay, yeah.
Yes, they claim basically that they pay the women more than the men
Mhm.
over the last 10-year period, which might technically be true, but when you consider that the men didn't actually qualify for the last World Cup, and over that 10-year period the women's team have won it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. But, however, the numbers were then looked over and proven to be complete horseshit, because the 8 million... they actually pay the men $9 million more over that period, and the reason why their numbers were showed that they actually paid the women more is because they actually included the women's club salaries in their numbers for national pay.
Yeah.
So they left in their yearly club
They
salaries.
inflated their own numbers.
Yeah.
That's
Inflated
incredible.
their own numbers.
Yeah.
They left their club salaries in, and even then, they're like, so the US men's team are only 8 million off the women's team, even when
Even when you count in the
even
club salaries.
even when you count in their entire yearly salaries over a 10-year period,
Yeah.
the men are only 8 million off without their club salaries totted in.
That's ridiculous.
That's
Yeah.
sickening.
Yeah.
So
Ridiculous.
it works out. Oh yeah. As a result, the women's national team basically they receive 38 cents to every male dollar.
There we go.
That's
Yeah.
that's America.
That's
That's actually just women's football.
That's
in
women's
general.
football broadly,
That's not
yeah,
even
that's
just
fair,
America. But it's the fact that the US soccer actually went, no, we actually pay the women more than we do the men, and they're like, no, you've actually included their club salaries as well.
Yeah. But that was very
when you strip
intentional.
all,
Yeah.
When you strip all that out, they get paid 9 million quid less, not 8 million more, as you were claiming. And even then, like, you realise over the last 10-year period, the men have failed to qualify for a World Cup, whereas the women's team have won it twice.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And look, not even that. The fact that the US women's team are the best. It's not as an argument that's like, oh, it's a small pond. It's like you saw the World Cup, right?
They're the best, yeah.
They're the most sold jersey on Nike.com
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't even make the argument they're not marketable. Nobody cares. Like the market's there. The World Cup was a fantastic success all around.
Their IG game is as powerful as it's ever been.
Yeah, like nobody's really clicking onto Christian Pulisic's IG as far as I know. Are they? You know, is anyone clicking on that?
Their dab game is like next level shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's dabs upon dabs, as I remember. Yeah.
I'm a white girl and I'm a bar and I'm drunk and I hate it. Julie Ertz, yes, get her in on a dab game where she nearly killed someone. But yeah, that's it. But like US soccer arguing that they pay the women more than they pay the men, when in actual fact they pay them 38. They pay them only 38%. So 38 cents to every male dollar. Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
You can't. You literally. That's the only stat. That's the only number you need from that. You get 38 cents to every male dollar. They've won the World Cup twice over the 10-year period, whereas the men have failed to qualify.
Yeah.
So, it's time to pick our cod then. So, I am going to go for you did make a very strong case with the gender pay thing. It's fucking horrendous. But I can't look past bad journalism. I just can't. Like, it's so hard to find people who first of all can have a.
In all fairness, if you're looking for good journalism, what the fuck are you doing on the Daily Mail?
I never looked on the Daily Mail. It was Rachel who was on the Daily Mail. But the fact is, like, this confirms everything I heard about the Daily Mail. Such a badly written article, and just to start off with, like, oh, you know, love a sing and dance, don't you, pet? It's like, no. What? Get out. So I'm going for the Daily Mail article.
I can't vote for my own one.
Yes.
So I'm going to vote for your one.
EFL?
I'm going to vote for the Football League.
Yeah.
Because, and the only reason is because, let's face it, he's a Spurs player and he deserves everything he gets.
That's fair. Yeah, that's you got it from the opposite sides, but I think you still make a compelling argument.
Look, everything about it was wrong.
Yeah.
I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with Rachel's argument, 110%. But he used to play for Spurs.
Yeah.
you take the bad karma that life gives you when you pull on that shirt.
Sure, on a shirt twice, might I add. Yeah.
Absolutely. As the ridiculous emails I keep getting, they are made of Tottenham.
Yes.
3 different fonts.
So in that case, Rachel, you're the deciding vote potentially. You could have a 3-way draw.
I'm gonna go 3-way draw.
Yeah.
Like, okay, EFL, yeah, load of cunts, but kind of.
You had to go with the gender pay. Like, that's, it's ridiculous.
It's kind of. It's in my area, isn't it? Area of expertise. So,
Indeed, yeah. In your facility as a woman.
Yeah.
You are a token woman, as stated by gender guidelines. So yeah. So it's. I think this is our first official Hand of Cod, and it's a 3-way tie. So that's we won't. I don't think we're all going to budge from that.
We ruined it.
So we have 3 cods this week. So indeed, you can pick from our 3 choices if you want to.
Please leave a comment.
Yes, tickle our social media algorithms at. I'll probably show you later on. So we're going to take a break here. When we come back, then we are going to be talking properly about the top 6 and who we think is going to challenge them. See you then. Podcast onto the second half. Trust me, it is second half, not just the end. As always, we tend to go over time with these things, but we are going to talk about the kind of the main players of this season, our top 6 rundown, our gladiators, if you will. Hopefully, we don't get sued for using that music. So, I don't think this is going to last long, but guys, who do you think are the main contenders this season?
Stay and Liverpool.
I don't think that was much of a surprise.
No, I'm the same.
Yeah, it's kind of more the same this season, really, isn't it?
Well, see, none of the teams have really moved on. I mean, like, all right then. I in between now and Thursday, Arsenal might sign Tierney, so then we've really kicked on with our team. Man U, if all of their signings click, that team will maybe somewhat kick on a bit. Maybe. Don't think so.
Big maybe.
That's a big maybe. So yeah, but all of the teams really have pretty much stood quite still.
Yeah.
Liverpool and City, we went over what their transfer dealings were. It was all just about retaining their current team and signing a bit of backup, getting a bit of depth. It's all about depth. Like
I found with City, like they made the one signing they kind of had to make this season with, over Fernandinho. Yeah. They needed a replacement for him because obviously with the injuries, with the fact he's 34 now, you do need to get someone in to replace him. Now, whether or not this Rodri guy turned out to be good, I wasn't convinced with him in the Community Shield, I'll be honest, but that was a kind of a weird madcap game, so maybe not take that as kind of proof pudding that he's a terrible signing or something.
Yeah, well, we're going to get the proof anyway come Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, come Friday.
So, well, we're playing Friday.
Saturday.
Yeah, City are playing Sunday, I think.
Sunday?
I could be wrong. The Sky
come this weekend.
Yeah.
We'll get
exactly, yeah. So yeah, obviously you guys reckon that like it's going to be a 2-horse race again then?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's going to be them pulling away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, not to
I think it's them pulling away from the rest of the pack, and then I expect that it's going to get really, really really bad tempered, because the instant they start doing that, the whole allegations about them dodging financial fair play and basically making shit of the rules, which is what they've been actually doing, will crop up again. I mean, I think I remember Ken Early actually saying something like this. It's like, City should get down on their knees and thank
we mentioned this in the pilot, yes.
And thank Liverpool, because, you know, because they only won it in the last game of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Then the allegations about them dodging the rules came out.
Yeah.
If they'd have done what they'd done the season beforehand and had it won by fucking almost the end of April, there would have been 2 or 3 months of that shit. You know?
Exactly.
They'd have been fucking out. That'd have been like month 3 of that. So
Yeah.
I actually think that's kind of what's going to happen this season. I think they're going to pull away. They're going to go out again in the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
I think they're going to have a very similar season myself.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a very similar season.
For the most part, their pre-season has kind of came off without a hitch. You know, they haven't had any major injuries, with exception to Sané in the Community Shield. That hopefully won't be nothing in terms of Man City fans, or Bayern Munich fans for that matter. But for the most part, like, even though they've won most of their games, they lost only one on a penalty shootout to Wolves, funny enough, which was their Achilles heel last year. Which I'm hopeful again still is an Achilles heel. But the thing is, like Man City are the gold standards in terms of the champions. Like they are the team to beat, and they'll always be the team to beat for the next couple of years, or at least until Guardiola's there. You know, once Guardiola goes, I think now that's when it's time to strike. And I think that is kind of working into how Liverpool are treating this season. Like, we are fucked in terms of energy levels for our pre-season, because we had the Champions League final 2 weeks after the season.
What is it? It's something like, I remember somebody saying this to me. It's something like 7 cup competitions you're in.
We're in 7. We are in 6. If you count the Community Shield, that's 7.
Yeah.
So we're in the European Super Cup, we're in the Club World Cup, Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, and Community Shield.
Yeah.
That's 7 competitions. Already lost 1, but oh well, it's Community Shield. Would have been nice to get one up on City, but however. But
I don't know. It's not really a whole lot you can hope for when you know your manager in the preceding press conference goes, "This really shouldn't exist."
Yeah.
You know, that's not exactly instilling the do or die.
But that being said,
Go
though,
get 'em,
we
spirits.
gave them a bit of a fucking fright at that game. You know, like the first half, we weren't very, very good. And I think that was a symptom of overall how our pre-season went. Like, if you look at our pre-season results-wise, it was very, very bad. We won only 1 game in the pre-season. If you count the 2 charity games we did before we left for the US against Tranmere and Bradford, you know, there were Mickey Mouse games in terms of, we've always done a friendly with Tranmere because for the most part we felt sorry for them being in financial trouble, so we always gave them a game. Now they're actually coming back on their feet a little bit, which is nice. And the Bradford game was for Stephen Darby, who has motor neuron disease. So we had those games, and we just let the kids out. But obviously, I watched them and I went, "Holy shit, these kids are really fucking good!" So I got excited. And then actual teams turned up to play football, and you can really tell the difference how our players are like energy wise when you see other teams come in with their perfect pre-seasons and holidays at the right time, and not having players going to fucking Africa Cup of Nations and other Copa Libertadores and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, it really hurts because the bulk of the team are now coming back from holiday.
Yeah,
you know,
Mane
is going to miss the Norwich game, which is a shame because, and it's only by virtue of the fact that Senegal got to the final. You know.
Thanks for that. I thought you need to make a note for my phone.
he was in my one.
You can thank me in advance.
Yeah, he was in my one, and then I got her.
She's is actually writing it down. That's brilliant. You can't write with a pen top, Rachel. She's actually writing on herself. Jesus Christ. Anyway, but the thing was, like, we had performances. Class of children today. So we had bad performances against Dortmund, Sevilla, Lisbon, Napoli. Napoli was probably the worst one. But
was it 3-0, wasn't it?
3-0 to Napoli, yeah. Now, I would qualify. As a Liverpool fan, you can qualify them as much as you like, but for the most part, it's been based off like poor energy and defensive frailties.
In all fairness, I wouldn't really factor that much in. I mean, I actually quite struggle to think about the last pre-season Arsenal had that went badly. Well, all of our pre-seasons tend to go quite swimmingly. And then
It's
we
just the real season.
and
where
then
we're
the
like,
real
oh,
season,
fuck.
yeah, and then reality, the bitch reality kicks in, and then we're like, oh, what the fuck is happening?
Well, this is where my optimism starts, because I think, like...
I actually want a bad pre-season.
But this is what I'm going to say. We've had a bad pre-season, but I think it's to prepare us for what season we're going to have. You know, I don't think we're going to solidly contend for the Premier League this season. That's a slight spoiler from my list, but the reason I'm saying that is because we have far more fish to fry. You know, like Man City, they have the squad depth to challenge anywhere and everywhere. You know, we can accept that. But I think we want to do something slightly different with our club. We do not want to be the likes of Man City and we're just like, okay, let's just buy... We've lost Moreno, let's buy a new fullback. Mm-hmm. You know, Klopp does want to go, hang on, we've got left backs here who are ready to go. Or at least he thinks they will be ready to go in time. Obviously you guys will see the same thing with the likes of Nelson and Smith Rowe and Willock and all these. These are guys you want to get into the team.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same token, you can't deny the fact you'd love to just sign a new striker or sign a new fullback. You know, whether obviously in the case of like having a first team player, you need them. But for the fact that okay, we need 2 left backs, we need 1 to sit on the bench. We don't want to sign players that are going to sit on the bench. Klopp would rather sign players that are sitting on the bench for experience. You know, the likes of, let's say, Brewster or Wilson or Lariucci, any of these players who have had fantastic pre-seasons. You know, the young players have had great pre-seasons. It's the guys coming back from holiday that are slow to start to kick back up again. Which is understandable because these poor fuckers that have played Nations League games and, as I said, those competitions as well. The one shining light was that I think we set up our pre-season to get used to playing 2 games a week, because that is how it's going to be at the start of the season. We got Norwich, then we're off to Istanbul, then we're back to Southampton, and then it's going to be 2 games a week when the Champions League starts. Then we've got the Club World Cup at Christmas. That's going to be 2 games a week as well until we come back from Qatar, which is also going to be 2 games a week. So I think for the most part our pre-season's getting there to get used to us just playing non-stop games. I think someone worked out the numbers that if we fulfilled every club competition, if we reached the final in every competition we had, we'd be playing 76 games this season.
Yeah.
Now with a team we have, that's a killer, because
it is.
You have players like Ox and Lallana who, you know, I feel great sympathy for them because they've had injury troubles in the past, but those are players now we'll need to rely on if we're going to go far in those competitions. Like Lallana's not going to start every game, but in the pre-season he's been deployed as a number 6. Which sounds fucking weird when you think about it. Like Lallana, like really frankly, daintily number 6. But he's actually not too bad at it. You know, that was the one shining light from the pre-season, was that he did okay in that position. Oxlade-Chamberlain, coming back from injury as well, looking for fitness, looking to get that kind of killer instinct back. Keita the same way. Keita was a fucking beast against Lyon and Man City. So those players coming back, as Klopp said, we're treating them as new signings, because for the most part we did miss all of them last season. The one blemish was obviously Klein coming out for injury, which is a kick in the balls, because I think for the most part we wanted to sell him and make some money out of him. But
now
as I said,
his ankle in.
Yeah, but as I said, we now have Kiana Hoover, who'll probably be our back fullback. I'd say we'll probably promote Lariucci as our backup left back. Bruce will be in the team. I think Harry Wilson's going to have a bit to say as well. So overall, like it looks like a really shit pre-season. But I think it's because we need to be battle tested. We need to get used to basically being fucking 2 games a week, which is going to be, as you guys kind of understand as well with Europa League football, you guys have to adapt to essentially playing Thursdays and Sundays, which does kind of, it fucks up your circadian rhythms a bit, you know? It really, really does. So that's kind of how I felt like the pre-season's gone. I still don't think we're going to be like, we are going to push City, don't get me wrong, but I think we'll see opportunities elsewhere. Like we'll see the Champions League as our main kind of like forte again. We'll probably win the Club Winners' Cup, I'd say. Maybe the Super Cup, because the Chelsea team don't look that great. So, you know, we've got opportunities elsewhere. But it definitely, for the start of the season, I think we're going to start off a little bit slow, because our defence doesn't look great. Like Trent wasn't great, Gomez wasn't great yesterday. That's kind of nitpicking at this stage, because fuck me, going forward, we look brilliant.
Yep.
Compared to the fact that Salah's only back this week and Firmino's back this week.
You'll see more. You'll see more come this weekend, but I reckon he'll come in second. But again, I think City will have the league won.
Yeah.
a lot sooner than they did the last time.
But anyway, as we were mentioning like earlier, like that, like the league is kind of secondary to City now. They want to win the Champions League.
Yeah, and they're not going to.
Yeah, and they exactly, yeah. But the problem is, like, that's if they win the Premier League, that's not enough. He's won the treble. That's not enough. They've both put so much pressure on them now to be a team. Liverpool could sit back and go, cool, we'll just win everything else.
I said that in the pilot. The best thing about, you you guys winning the Champions League is that it sours the Premier League win. The Premier League domination by City, because
that's the one competition
that's
they
what
need.
They want.
Yeah.
That's what Pep wants as well.
Yeah.
He's fed up with people turning around saying that he only won the Champions League because he just got gifted with literally the best club team that's ever existed.
Yeah. So in terms of that, in terms of outside that realm, then we have 4 teams at the minute: Chelsea, Spurs, Man City, or Man United, even Arsenal, that are vying for 2 spots. The top 4 is such a big thing for kind of the club finances at this stage. Although you wouldn't know from Man United spending again. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do we see Spurs the 3rd place team again?
I see Spurs in 4th.
I see them as 3rd.
I have Arsenal 3rd.
Yeah. Again, spoilers for the Crystal Football, but yeah, I think Spurs are like steadily ahead of everyone else in the scramble, but primarily because they haven't had the change.
I think I see they've only really signed 1 replacement, but they've not shored up what happened. I think we were talking about this earlier on. The 2-week break for the Champions League final helped them more than anything else.
Yeah, they were threadbare towards the end. Absolutely,
they still have that threadbare squad, and they looked absolutely shagged by the end of the season. They look fucking wrecked. They've lost Ali to a recurring hamstring injury now.
I was going to make this point because they now have players who do have those knocks.
Yeah,
because I mentioned Kane in the pilot as well, and he has an ankle injury that's not going away.
And
now Ali has this as well.
The thing is that they play so much worse with Kane.
Do
you know
what? Even so far, I'd say they play worse with Ali as well.
Well, the thing is,
I don't like Ali as a player at all.
Well, I don't either, but I think he's a good player for them.
Yeah,
I don't like him.
I think
because he's a Spurs player.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with Kane, it's all just Kane centric. It's all just about him, and he's not firing. And the thing is, he's not been firing for months now.
Yeah.
And when there was a brief period last season where he was out for a good couple of weeks, and something like 4 or 5 different players were scoring goals.
Some or more, yeah.
Yeah, the goals went up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I see your point.
I think that threadbareness now is really going to hamper them, because the injuries are really going to bite in. They're already biting in now.
Yeah.
Like now,
when they haven't even started yet.
They've not gotten.
If they get the injuries out of the way now, and then by the time the actual,
but they're all recurring.
They're recurring injuries. Yeah,
well,
that's the difference.
I want to go with my heart and say that they will, get relegated. But I'm using my head here that they've somehow been able to spend loads of money despite having the stadium.
I think they will buy 1 or 2 more players before the end of the week. Sessegnon will probably go. I don't think they'll get this Lo Celso kid in. I say that has to be that'll be after Eriksen goes. But even still, they have been trying to get rid of players, and I don't think they have.
They are kind of the Man United of old, where they win luckily. They're just so jammy in their wins, as in a last minute winner from Kane, or
that was very apparent in the Champions League.
So many penalties that they got that, with VAR coming in, they're probably not going to get.
Good point. Yeah.
But I think I'm just going to be pessimistic with my Crystal Football and just say that they're going to go 3rd.
I still think they're just a little bit ahead of the chasing pack, but I think that gap will have shrunken, and
I agree that.
Yeah, I think Arsenal will give them a proper challenge this year.
No, I guarantee. I reckon the threadbare squad. I think this season the wheels might not come fully off.
Yeah.
But my God, they're going to be.
They're going to struggle.
Yeah. Like a motherfucker.
They're not going to. I don't think they're going to sustain another Champions League challenge. I think they're going to. They have to knuckle down.
And they're going to go for that because they made a lot of money.
I get that. But the fact is, they got a decent though. They've struggled through the group stages, and rightfully so. They're in a very tough group. But once they're out there, they were facing a Dortmund team that had the Bundesliga on their radar instead, and Ajax just bottled it really in the semi-finals. Man City essentially they spurred the game, ironically enough. But those quarterfinals were insane, because just Man City were so worked up, and they just kind of outrun themselves.
This is also my point. That threadbare squad is gonna crumble in. I have them as 4th in mine. I wouldn't be surprised if they finished outside the top 4.
It depends on everyone else.
That's what I.
How was your pre-seasons?
Our pre-season was brilliant.
Yeah.
Our pre-season was fantastic. You know,
Like, we lost to Lyon and we lost to Barca, but that was Mustafi.
Yeah.
But no, so like our pre-season has shown pretty much what we already suspect is that we are fantastic going forward.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some fucking flying youngsters that are going to be baiting down the doors to try and get into our first team.
Which they'll get opportunities in the Europa League.
Willock and Nelson being the kind of big kind of
Torchbearers,
names.
yeah.
Nketiah as well.
Nketiah.
Nketiah is going to get Welbeck's
Spot,
berth,
yeah.
the berth as the third striker.
There's
Would he
also
not
a
go
guy
on
who-
loan?
No.
Um,
He's good. Sorry, he's going to get Welbeck's spot.
Number 3.
And Welbeck got a lot of game time.
Yeah, true.
Last
True.
season, much to Rachel's chagrin.
Yeah.
But he was needed though, in fairness.
he
The
was
amount of
needed, he
games,
got
yeah.
a lot of it until he decided to try and sit in his ankle at 30 miles an hour.
That wasn't very smart.
No.
No.
So I guarantee you, he's had a talk. There's been a talk with him, and he said, "Do you see the amount of game time that Welbeck got last season? That's what you're going to get." And he's gone top.
Yeah. There's another guy, Saka.
Yeah, but Saka, he's a fucking literal made of lightning winger.
Which is what you guys kind of were looking for this season,
Yeah,
which are
he's
targets.
like fucking 18. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, it's good though.
But it was good to see that there is this talent coming through. But like that, our defence at the back is our Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Now, in saying that, like we're gonna be in the battle for top 4, I'd imagine, and you're looking kind of around at who are we gonna be battling with. You're gonna be battling with Manchester United, who their top striker is Lukaku, who may or may not be there.
Mm-hmm.
And if he is there, will he be there?
Yes.
You got like their shit show shambles of a team, like
Which their transfer dealings could be summed up as in by all the players.
yeah.
They've literally like the largest squad in the league. They have 6 centre backs, 5 full backs, 5 central midfielders, 6 forwards and attacking midfielders, plus a teenage centre mid and 3 teenage forwards.
But there's the real lack of quality there.
Yeah, there's
That's the
fuck
problem,
out shit.
Well, let's move on to Man United then, because
Oh, can I just?
yeah, please don't carry on.
So like Arsenal, like okay, apart from our centre defence, very top heavy and have a decent squad again. Apart from defence,
Yeah.
we're up against that shit show shambles of a Manchester United team that you know might not even have a proper striker.
Yeah.
And then you've got Chelsea, who are Frank Lampard's Chelsea.
Frank Lampard's Chelsea. Yeah. Give them the right
And
name.
they've lost their Hazard.
Yeah.
And they've lost the ability to buy in new Hazard before next week. And their team is stuck at what it was last year, which wasn't fantastic. Only for our complete and utter capitulation at the end of the season, we would have finished above, like...
Well, like I said, even Spurs capitulation, like you were all capitulating at the same time.
Yeah, like it
You
was
know.
the most bizarre thing, but I think out of those squads that we've mentioned there, Arsenal could just survive. If we just outscore what we let in, and we're gonna let in fuck tons of goals, and I've come to terms with that. But if we can just out.
Well, like I said, but even look at the transfers you've done in. Like by far, Arsenal have improved the most in terms of who you've signed. Now, whether like as always we kind of said with the Villa side, like even because you sign the players does not necessarily mean they're going to perform.
Yeah.
But Pepe is obviously going to be better than what you had there. Like he's probably going to slide in where Mkhitaryan used to play.
Yeah.
But as you said, your system's now going to change. You're not going to run back trick anymore. You're going to run 4-3-3.
Our system's going to change, right? We're going to have a right winger.
Yeah.
Before we signed Pepe, who was our right winger? Mkhitaryan.
Yeah.
So that's half a right winger because he's not even a winger.
Yeah.
He's like a right-sided midfielder who likes to play slightly closer to the touchline than any other midfielder. And this is the thing, right? We've got 6 centre backs. I've mentioned them before.
Yeah.
So out of the motley crew of 6 that we had there, right? You can't play 3 at the back. You go to a 4 at the back because you can't buy in anymore. So you sub it. You get in a winger and you're enabled to play 4. I guarantee you that when Holding comes back. Bellerin comes back. Bellerin comes back. I guarantee we're not going to see a whole lot of Mustafi.
No, I don't think you will.
Emery does not like him.
But you don't need it. That's the argument. You don't. If you run the 4, you don't need a Mustafi.
We don't need Mustafi,
Yeah.
and that's the point. I that's why I'm more optimistic, which I think is quite bad to be for an Arsenal fan.
I'd agree with you.
We're not going to see.
No, I'd agree with you because I see very similar parallels to how we were. Like a lot of Liverpool fans forget we were terrible defensively before Van Dijk arrived. The reason we spent 75 million on him was because we had a issue at the back.
Yeah, Klopp realised that he plays in a system that exposes his goalkeeper and it exposes his defenders.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got two options there. You change your system so that they're not so exposed, or you buy elites.
And
so
it's also that,
he went out and he bought an elite goalkeeper on Alisson. He went out and he bought an elite centre-back in Van Dijk.
And I throw Fabinho in there as well. Like it's very important to get the number 6 in because it is that spine that you need.
Exactly, yeah.
There's no point getting the central defender if he can't communicate with someone who needs to come back to split the defence.
The thing is, we have that as well. We've got Torreira there.
Yes.
This is going to be Torreira's second season. He's going to be well adjusted. He's going to be well there. We also have Chambers, who got Fulham.
I see Chambers as more of a number 6 because I think he was very, very good there for Fulham.
He got their player of the season, like overwhelmingly. He got
no, but that was Scott Parker going like, listen, I don't care about the defence. You are better here.
He got like 80% of their vote in that. In that position.
But he was fantastic.
Yeah,
he was fantastic there because the one problem with the Fulham
6-year contract.
Yeah, but the problem with the Fulham team last year was they had absolutely no balance.
Yeah.
They were such a capitulating team.
No. See, that's also another thing. That's why it's so difficult to judge his performances at Fulham because that team was such a colossal.
Even the same way he was at Borough as well, because that team did nothing going forward. It made it look like they must have such a wartime.
This is the reason why I think we're third. I think we'll go in. Our squad will be playing 4 at the back with a midfield diamond. Torreira at the base.
Ceballos as well.
Ceballos as well. He's going to be the guy fucking making things.
He's gonna make the runs in.
He's going to make shit happen.
Yeah.
And then you've got a front three of Aubameyang, Lacazette and Pepe. Holy fuck.
Because again, bear in mind, this is exactly what we did 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because we said, listen, we know the defence is terrible, but there aren't defenders in the market just yet. Yeah. To go sign.
Now I don't think Pepe is going to get the 22 goals and 11 assists.
Doesn't need to.
That he got.
He's in a different system.
You're gonna and also teams are gonna look at our front line and go, whatever you do, don't give these motherfuckers space.
But when you have if you have Aubameyang on one side, probably Lacazette on the left, wouldn't it be?
No, I reckon Lacazette.
I'd have Aubameyang on left.
I reckon Lacazette will be played through the middle.
I know Lacazette would be essential because you can't not have Aubameyang on the left hand side because the pace is there. You just spin it.
Also, Lacazette, you give him the ball for the goal. He's a fucking
exactly. He'll clean up.
Auba has had a fantastic pre-season.
Oh, yeah, he's had great pre-season.
One of the things that he's done is come out onto the right wing, actually, which is why the whole why are we signing Pepe thing.
But Pepe can play centrally too.
He can also play the left. He's left foot.
Yeah.
It could be such what the Arsenal women have.
Yeah.
We've got Mead and McCabe
and Medina
and Medina as our front three, and they constantly switch. And then obviously you've got Van de Donk as well, who's in the centre, but she can come out in the wing. And there's this constant carousel revolving. Someone who's been told to mark McCabe and they're on the right hand side, and all of a sudden they see her, she's on the other side of the pitch, and they're shit, and now I've got Bet Mead to deal with. And
all you have to do is have a player in the midfield position that's just spray balls. So if you do have someone quick like Torreira that's able to turn the play back and forth, you have Xhaka for your passes.
I think Torreira will be that kind of transition from defence. He'll get the ball. He'll move the ball up. I think it seems now. This is again slightly optimism. Rose-tinted glasses. It seems that Emery and Ozil have buried somewhat of the hatchet.
Ozil seems to have switched on a little bit.
He's switched on a wee bit. He'll start
had 2 fantastic assists in pre-season.
Yeah.
That was proper space size Ozil that we used to love.
But I think I think he can see which way the Arsenal side is going. It is going up, and granted, do not be discounted the fact that you have a Mustafi. We had Lovren. For years, and he was our clown for a long time. But there's a difference, you see. You guys don't have your Van Dijk yet. Now I don't know if Saliba is going to be that player.
I reckon it'll be Holding.
It could be Holding. You don't know. It doesn't matter. The Van Dijk is a.
Whatever happens, we are going to look fabulous home or away or in our third kit.
Oh yeah, that third kit's going to drop before the Newcastle game, and it's going to be sick.
Well, you've at least one thing. At least one competition this year, anyway. Let's finish off then.
Down.
Yeah, that's true. We'll finish off this top 6 rundown. We'll talk about Man United and Chelsea then. Man United have had a curious pre-season because a lot of it has been about who they're getting in, who they're getting out.
Who they're getting in is the entire... They're just basically trying to buy every player. They still finish outside the top 4. I have them spoiler alert, I have them finishing 7th.
Yeah, I won't give away what my thoughts are
So
either.
when
But
you,
I'm
when, you
worried
say
for them
top,
as well.
when you say top 6, my top 6 actually has Wolves in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean Chelsea are going to have a real fucking challenge running to stand still this season.
Yes.
That's all they're going to be doing. Lampard is just in there so that the fucking water so that they don't shit the bed.
Yeah, basically.
He's literally there on clean.
And I would say the same for Solskjaer. Solskjaer is a placeholder.
Yeah.
Simple as. Next week, I'm going to be asking the question, like, who's the first manager to be sacked next season? I think it's nailed on for somebody in the top 6, but I'll leave that for next week.
I reckon Solskjaer will probably be gone by Christmas.
I think once a manager comes up on the market, it'll be him, because the sheer fact is, I think the players are going in are for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I think if you look at the way Solskjaer has been playing pre-season, he's been trying to get young players into the squad.
Mm-hmm.
Like the big one was actually technically a Jose appointment, which was McTominay.
Mm-hmm.
Now he was needed to basically be the Carrick of the team, which is kind of not something that anyone wants to admit to in the United midfield, but they do need a Michael Carrick.
Oh yeah,
which is also why they're trying to spend crazy money on Sean Longstaff, because they think that he can be this Carrick. But although again, it's this weird thing that like United, like the United team itself has, that we need to replicate the class of '92. You need to get your Scholes in. You need to get your Beckham in. It's like, could you not just be the first of yourselves? You know, that's your issue. Like Pogba is a fucking entity on of itself. Massive ego.
See, that's the
and
thing,
can run a club team if he wants to.
Yeah, but
you know,
that's the point. Like Solskjaer is stating that he's going to build a team around Pogba, but you can't build a team around somebody who's that flaky.
And so mercenary as well.
He's got.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mind. Well, I do mind the mercenary thing, but the thing is that he's not consistent. You can't build your team around that. We tried building our team around an inconsistent Ozil, and it just didn't fucking work.
Well, the reality is you can't build around a team around players who are dictated to by their super agents. When you have that fat cunt Raiola,
it's not even that. You can't build a team around the brand.
But no, not even that. But look at all the other teams around
it's Adidas.
or Nike,
picking it up,
or Nike for us next season.
Man.
Cash in, baby. But no, but look at all the other teams around like Liverpool. We have no players represented by Raiola. We have no super agents involved. They're all like bog standard agents. No one else is involved. But when you have these fucking shysters thrown in, you know, like Wolves, I think was an exception because they have a actual relationship with Jorge Mendes. They're getting something beneficial out of this.
I think we're dealing with Mendes now. Wenger never dealt with him.
Exactly. But
I think it was Mendes who kind of grandfathered in the Pepe deal. It was him who got the connection.
Yeah, probably because he would have been with Lille as well.
Sinelli, when it was floated to Lille, by the way, we'll structure the deal as 20 million a year, because who the fuck are you going to buy for 72 million?
But that's fine, because that's a beneficial move for Pepe. Yeah. You see, it's a law of diminishing returns when you're Martial or Lukaku or Pogba, and your guys are like looking around for those moves, and the reason they look around for those moves is because they want money. Yeah. It doesn't matter what you want at this stage. You could have a great deal at Man United. You could be you could be a first team player. You could be captain. You could be the guy, as Pogba is supposed to be. But it doesn't matter if your mate, your fucking agent, is there going, ooh, I really fancy another boat. You know, I really think like I have a dock in Monaco. I have my eye on. You know, I was like. You can't like base your career on that. You are just a husk at that point.
But in any case, like also with Man U, I think they're only a couple of injuries away from playing second-rate players in half their position.
I was going to make that point because I think Solskjaer wants to play young players. The one player they have been ranting over this pre-season is Mason Greenwood, and he's really fucking good. I've seen him play. Yeah. He is good enough to play in that team.
He's like the most. Somebody described. I think a Man U fan described it to me as like the most two-footed player he's ever seen since Santi Cazorla.
Yeah, but he's so talented.
He's the one. He's the man when he scored 30 goals last season. Was it 15 with one foot, 14 with the other?
Yeah, in the youth academy. Yeah, but he is brilliant. He's really really good. Yeah. The problem is though, can Solskjaer get away with playing Greenwood over, say, Lukaku?
Yeah, and nobody likes Lukaku.
No, but this is my point. You see, if Lukaku doesn't play, then everyone's just starting to start us off with, oh, Lukaku's been dropped for Greenwood. It's like, if it's a footballing decision,
yes. Literally every, I get snippets of of Man United Twitter into my Twitter feed from a friend of mine,
Yeah.
and all of it is just Lukaku has the worst.
Oh no,
touch
I'm not talking about the
I've ever
fans here.
seen.
I'm talking about the people that are in charge of Lukaku. This is like, oh, you I think you really want to play Lukaku,
Yeah, no.
or else he'll want to get a move. You know, just
But they're
hint,
trying to
hint.
offload him. Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here. You know,
For like
only
this.
for Dybala sinking his own deal.
Mm.
He
And they probably get Mandzukic in
Lukaku
as a
could be on a
backup,
plane
yeah.
right now
Yeah,
for his medical.
he still might be for Inter
Maybe.
because Conte wants him.
Yeah.
So
for some weird reason.
yeah, no, he's mad for Lukaku because that was the reason why he left Chelsea, was because they didn't sign him.
Anyway.
Mental.
Handouts.
I like with United. I think it is like Solskjaer's on borrowed time. I think he's going to try his best to get those players in, like Greenwood, like Chong,
Yeah.
who's had a great preseason too. But as I said, like they have so many players that's in that team that needs to go, like Ashley Young, like fucking Darmian, Phil Jones.
And hilarious, like all of those players they still have, and the player to get rid of is Herrera.
Yeah,
He was a solid player.
unbelievable decision. But the reason is they couldn't keep him
Who the fuck greenlit that?
because Herrera knows which way the club is going.
Yeah, Herrera's like, I want out of here.
He was one of the few players in our team that I actually genuinely respect.
Yeah.
I really do admire
Well, they
because
say
he's a proper player.
You know, they do say even rats flee sinking ships.
Absolutely. But even look at the likes of Marshall, like he's been fucking quiet as a fucking church mouse this season. You know, because he knows whatever. I'll wait until
Yeah.
someone likes me.
I'll do a bail. I'll sit around and play golf.
Unbelievable. It's that kind of season.
And also, yeah, so Chelsea just
in a holding
still.
pattern, I think they're going to be a fun team to watch because they are just going to be unbridled. They're just going to have fun, in my opinion, because
Well, it's about as much fun as you can have being a Chelsea player.
well, not even that, but Lampard, like it's a different, like it's a culture change.
It's going to be really weird for the Chelsea academy players to be playing for Chelsea.
And that's the thing, I really want to see that. I want to see what these players are like in a Chelsea shirt. I want to see if like Abraham or Mount can actually do something.
And also they're ruining all their players with these ridiculous contracts.
Like,
That was a
Loftus
mistake.
Cheek, what was it?
Loftus-Cheek is on something like 200k a week.
Now Hudson-Odoi will be on 200k a week.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no, he could go up to 200k. He's got a base salary of 160,000.
Yes, and then 200k if he does
Sure, fucking
performance
Mason
things.
Mount's on 80 grand.
Yeah.
80 grand.
Based off one season with Derby County, might I add.
What? We're paying Pepe 80 grand.
Yeah. I know.
A man who was only outscored by Kylian Mbappe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Loftus Cheek's on 100 grand, by the way.
That's just
Oh.
ridiculous. And I can imagine, like, as soon as they have one or two bad games, they're gonna get like so much stick from the media going, you're being paid 160 grand a week and you can't kick a football, or, you know, like the usual kind of thing. Their
Yeah.
heads are gonna go down, and then the whole
And
thing's
also,
gonna
and
deflate.
also, exactly. That also, I mean, like, similar to United. Like United are a financial juggernaut, so they can accommodate a fucking eye-watering
Yes, but
wage
Chelsea.
bill.
Yeah.
Chelsea can't. If Chelsea miss out on Champions League football this season for next season, they've locked in a lot of players on big fucking.
When you really
contracts.
think about it,
They've done
Sarri did
Arsenal now.
yeah. But Sarri did them a serious favour last season when you really do boil
Yeah.
down to it. Like Europa League win, that has its own merits, but third place in the Premier League. It's like all the shit around them.
Yeah.
Fucking solid job. When
Yeah.
you really do look at it, and a League Cup final that could have gone the other way as well.
Yeah, no. Sarri definitely did do a good job. That's why he left.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't do this again, and I did a great job.
And
He's
got
still,
no fucking
he's
thanks
still
for
got
it.
on my back.
Yeah.
So fuck you guys. I'm gonna go where I'm gonna be appreciated.
Yeah.
So Frank Lampard's just in there to keep the season ticking over.
Yeah.
Make sure the wheels don't go too badly off the fucking cart.
I see it as a free hit for Chelsea.
Yeah,
because
that's it.
If it doesn't work out, fair enough. We'll just get someone like Allegri in. But if it doesn't, win-win. Frank Lampard's Chelsea, where all the boys are back in town. We'll get like Drogba's going to be on the coaching staff. Macalady's back, by the way. He's a part of the coaching staff. They got fucking John Terry back in once the borders close. That's fucking hard Brexit, you know.
Yeah.
Be brilliant. So that's our kind of like a top 6 rundown. You mentioned there that you have a team that's potentially breaking into the
I've
top
got
6.
Wolves there.
I have two teams.
So I also have a few teams I think will crack the top 6 as well.
Do you want to do our crystal football then?
I think we'll do our crystal football. Let's jump right into it.
I'll kick mine off.
Yes, Neil, please do.
Alright, Ivan, first...
Start off from the bottom, actually.
Start off from the bottom, right?
Yes.
My starting from the bottom. Right,
Your 20th.
My 20th will be Newcastle.
Interesting.
Newcastle, Norwich, and Brighton.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I have one of them.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I have. Sorry, because I've written the wrong tune down on here.
Did you pick up Watford again?
Yes, I did actually.
Stop doing that.
I had Watford in 18th, but I didn't. The only reason they're there is because I forgot about them.
Are Watford or Wolves the good one?
Still good. Still good.
God damn it, Rachel. Every single time.
17th, I have Sheffield.
Oh, okay. You think Sheffield's going to survive?
Yeah. 16th, I have Palace. 15th, I have Villa. I have Watford in 14th. Burnley in 13th. Bournemouth in 12th. Southampton in 11th. And the Hammers bringing up the rear in 10th. Then my top 9 is 9th, Everton. 8th, Leicester. 7th will be Manchester United.
Yeah.
6th, it'll be Wolves. The 5th, it'll be Chelsea. 4th, will be the Spuds. 3rd, the Arsenal. 2nd will be Liverpool. And 1st will be City.
Interesting. Right. I was very surprised at you hyping up Sheffield United.
Oh no, I think they've kept the faith with the old guard, the team that got them promoted. So I think that's a well drilled, well oiled machine.
And they're fucking mental.
And they're fucking nuts.
Yes.
And mentalness always comes in handy.
Oh, it does. In the Premier League, it does.
Absolutely.
You need personality.
You need a real sort of lack of self-preservation.
Yeah.
And I think they'll survive. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe by literal skin out of teeth.
Yeah.
They'll probably survive by goal difference alone or some shit.
Yeah, it could be that.
But I think they'll do it. I think they'll stay up. And I really hope that they do.
Ooh. So who? Rachel, ladies first, second even.
I have Aston Villa 20th.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I have Crystal Palace.
Ooh, that's a big call.
And I have Newcastle.
That's a bit of a hot take, relegating Palace.
Yeah.
You think you're salty?
Yeah.
Are you hoping that they'll get relegated? That they'll have to sell us the Zaha for
I
like
don't
10
really
bob?
want Zaha.
10
like,
bob
I
and a
don't
pick of
rate
egg.
Zaha as much as everyone else seems to.
No, well,
like,
I think the whole reason is that Zaha kind of has really a lot of what we need, which is a bit of chaos going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. I can't name another Crystal Palace player. So I based it off that.
Milivojevic, the penalty taker.
No.
Can't even spell that.
No, but it's Sacco. How could you forget Sacco?
Made of
See, we
nightmares.
have our own Sacco.
Benteke.
Is he still there?
He's still
Yes,
there.
he's still there.
Is he?
Yeah, he's injured.
Oh well.
And how could you
I
forget?
actually genuinely forgot it.
How could you forget Martin Kelly? You fucking bastards. Okay,
That's
okay, Rachel,
literally
carry
the
on.
most- That is the most generic name ever.
He was a
John.
Liverpool.
That's like John Smith.
He was a Liverpool legend. He had a brilliant match against Real Madrid once, and that was it. He made his career on that, Neil, and you could fucking respect that.
No, I won't.
Rachel, please.
As I have already mentioned, Sheffield,
Ooh.
Bournemouth, Norwich,
Stephen Fry's Norwich, actually.
West Ham,
Ooh.
14th.
14th, wow, okay.
Brighton, 13th.
That's quite high, yeah.
Yeah, Southampton, 12th.
Mm-hmm.
Leicester, 11th.
Ooh, that's a hot take, I think.
I just
Shark
don't think
Tooth's not
they're...
gonna like that.
No, that's not good character at all.
No.
He's going to get Joe Allen after you and break your knees.
Burnley in 10th.
Burnley 10th.
Yeah.
That's another fucking hot take. Holy shit.
Damn. This is hot take set.
Are you sure this isn't the women's league we're doing?
9th, Everton.
Okay.
I have the same.
8th, Man United.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
7th, Chelsea. 6th, Wolves.
Right.
5th, Watford. Those two are interchangeable.
They're not.
Um,
They're really
So
not.
not.
Please change that list.
Arsenal 4th, Spuds 3rd, Liverpool 2nd, and Man.
Can I just check something? Do you have Watford 5th because that was the last one you filled in?
Yeah.
Like,
I fucking knew it. It's
the exact same reason I had Watford 18th initially, and I went, oh no, that's only because I forgot they existed.
Every single time this happens. Every
What
time we do a list,
for?
Watford is the one you all fucking forget.
Yeah.
And that's why they're fifth.
Yeah.
They're fifth because you forgot them.
Yeah.
They fucking snuck in Solid Snake style into the Europa League.
Default 2 sweetest words in the English language.
Oh my god. Right. It's the worst I'm doing podcasts with people with amnesia. So,
Very selective amnesia.
so my list then.
Just for that club and Wolves.
So my Premier League table, starting off from the bottom, I think 20 is going to be Sheffield United. I think they're going to. I think the 3 words that's going to summarise the season is blaze of glory, because those guys that we're going to get to next week are fucking crazy. 19th are Brighton, because that's what they get for sacking Chris Hughton. Nobody puts Chris in the corner.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody puts Chris in the corner. 18th
Gone.
are going to be Newcastle. I think they're just about going down, because I think they're going to be in a big.
Oh yeah, no, I want this to be like end of the like last day of the season, them soul crushingly getting thrown down.
You want Steve Bruce to cry?
Yeah.
I don't. In fact, by the end of the season, I don't. Oh no, he will be there. No, he will be there.
Yeah.
He will be there.
Careful now.
No, Mike Ashley's actually quite.
He's protective of his own
He's
fuck-ups.
quite
yeah.
patient when it comes to his own mistakes.
Mm.
I don't think we've said this before. Like, he's
Yeah,
only ever
yeah.
really prematurely sacked 2 managers,
Yeah, exactly.
just Houghton and Allardyce, and he didn't hire one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think they are going to be in a big. There's going to be a fairly big relegation scrap. I'd say from my teams up from 18th to 12th, I think are going to be struggling for relegation.
Yeah, I have that as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I reckon like I reckon like 14th to 18th.
Yeah.
It's probably not even a win going to separate them.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I say Newcastle will relegate, but Crystal Palace will just about survive. I have them 17th.
Why Hodgson skin out the teeth?
Yeah. Why? Villa 16th, Watford 15th, Burnley 14th, Norwich 13th, and Bournemouth 12th. So I'd say that's all there. They're all going to just about survive. It's going to be a massive scrap. Southampton comfortably 11th then, I'd say. Maybe... Might be a bit biased here, but Everton 10th. I just don't see that team clicking at all. West Ham 9th. Chelsea 8th. Manchester United 7th. Wolves 6th. Leicester 5th. And then this is the fun part. I'm going to say Arsenal 4th. Spurs 3rd. As much as it grins me to say Liverpool 2nd. Man City 1st.
Yeah.
There's no beating City at the minute. There just isn't. They're practically flawless in the league.
You fucking talking about biased things. You've got Shark teams in 15th.
In 5th, I think that team is a really good team. Like, even without, take Maguire out of it, their centre back, whoever they're going to get in, whether it be Dunk or Tarkovsky, I'd say Tarkovsky would probably be a better shout. He's going to slide right into that team. You've got Schmeichel in goal. You've got Chilwell and Pereira as your fullbacks. They've got a spot of a choice for their number 2 centre back in these kids like Soyuncu, Wes Morgan obviously, and Benkovic, who they have really high hopes for. I would be surprised if they actually signed 2 centre backs out of the Maguire money. But the midfield is brilliant. Like, you've got Tielemans, you've got fucking Perez in there as your number 10. You've got the width with Gray as well, like, and I can't remember their right wing, who's really good as well. Jamie Vardy. You know, Iheanacho's there as your backup, who hasn't really kicked on, but hopefully with, like, Rodgers likes his strikers.
Hopefully he'll get in on the WKD.
Yeah, that's what he's missing.
Or he'll take
that sugar boost.
Yeah, or Jamie Vardy's like pre-match fucking ritual of like a whole glass of port.
Exactly.
That is actually true. He said that in an interview. He said before his breakout season, like one of before the first match, he had an entire glass of port before he went to bed.
Yeah.
Then when he got up, he scored like 2 goals, and then that
was his ritual.
That was him in the match, and then he just kept doing that.
That's why we need to protect Jamie Vardy. He's a protected species.
He needs a whole glass of port every night before he goes to bed.
Fuck.
So yeah. Those are our Premier League tables. Feel free to disagree with us online. But, I can imagine a lot of hot takes there, but hopefully you don't lynch us that much.
I'm in danger.
So guys, that has been our season primer for the Liquid Football podcast. We'll be back next week with our extra time show where we're basically going to faff about for however time. We have tons of segments, so stay tuned for that. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks' time then to review the first 2 weeks of Premier League football and whatever else happens in between. So till then, guys, I've been Jonathan. That's been Rachel. And that's been Neil. Those have been our hot takes. Sorry for going over time again, but that's kind of what we do here. So we'll see you soon. Take it easy.
Bye.